I'm Teresa. Welcome to Dazzling in the Kitchen. Today I want to dazzle you with my sweet potato pie, honey. So if you are interested in wowing everyone around you, stick with me. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, I have 4 sweet potatoes. They're about medium to large size. This is gonna be a recipe good enough for at least 2 pies. I have 2 deep dish prepared pie crusts. So what we wanna do is you have to soften these up because obviously, I mean, we can't be crunching on sweet potato pie. So what I did was I put these in my pressure cooker, but you can always boil them or put them in the oven for about an hour. And get them nice and soft. So right now I'm just going to be peeling off the outer layer of our sweet potatoes. They're still a little warm to touch, which is how you want it because we want our butter to melt and all of our spices to just get in there and dance in the warmth and be happy. Okay, so now that all of our sweet potatoes are peeled, we're going to just take this butter right over here. We're going to get those mashed and creamed up. Right here on our mixer. All right. This is about to get loud, so we'll play some pretty music for you while this is happening. Okay, now that our sweet potatoes are nice and creamy, we're gonna get them a little spicy, honey. So let's get some spice in our life. We're gonna start with a little cinnamon. Now, I'm not much of a measurer, but I'll do my best. It's somewhere around that much. Okay, now I want you to know, a lot of people like to use nutmeg. I'm one of those people as well. However, when you don't have nutmeg in the house, allspice becomes your best friend. And now I've totally omitted nutmeg altogether. I use allspice. So we're gonna do about maybe a ½ teaspoon of allspice. I like it spicy. A bit of ginger. All right, and then we're going to come in with some vanilla extract. Now I like a lot of vanilla, you know. So let's do about a tablespoon and just a little bit more. So now, shh, I have a secret. This is what I sneak in. I have to have some kind of citrus. Citrus just livens and brightens everything up. My husband can never know that there is orange in this sweet potato pie because he's gonna just automatically assume it tastes like orange, but he's been loving my pie for years and he never knew. Now you can also substitute the orange with the lemon. They're interchangeable. I'm using orange extract today because that's what I have. So just a teaspoon of that will go in. That should be just enough. All right, this is a dessert, is it not? So let's sweeten things up. I got a ½ cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar, babe. Okay, we won't do that. We're gonna get some white sugar. All right. So we're gonna do about, let's see. I like to feel my way through. This is a ½ cup. So we did that twice. We're gonna do one more. So 3/4 cup white sugar, ½ cup of brown sugar. Remember, this is gonna be for 2 pies. We'll taste it later and see if we need any more. Also, I wanted to tell you, if you wanna cheat and not buy all these different spices, I happen to pick up a pumpkin pie spice, not sponsored, but hey, I'll take it. Pumpkin pie spice pretty much has everything here that I have: cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ginger, and cloves. So, I mean, all in one. I'm all about that life. But I need to see and I need to feel my stuff. So today we're just gonna go organic and do it the way I normally do it. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of flour because this is gonna help everything kind of bind and stick together. All right, and I'm gonna add about a cup of milk. Ooh, this is smelling amazing already. And this is my other little secret. I like to add sweetened condensed milk. It gets things nice and creamy. And I'm gonna go for about a half a cup of this. This is the zhuzh. You need the zhuzh. And I know it says sweetened condensed milk. Don't worry, it's very mildly sweetened. Milk has its natural sweetness. So I think it's kind of a concentrate of that, but it's definitely not sweet like sugar. We need the sugar. This is dessert. Do not serve sweet potato pie and they just taste like sweet potatoes. We're gonna have some problems, okay? All right, so now we're gonna get things mixed up before we add our eggs because I need to taste things. I don't just serve people any old thing. All right, now we're just gonna give her a little taste and make sure she's zhuzhed enough. Because we can't have it not tasting good because then I won't be invited to the party. That's marvelous. Okay, one thing I can just say I forgot is you have to, it's essential when you have dessert, you need to have a little salt. Salt is is what brings food to life. Just enough, not much. Just a tiny bit. I usually use salted butter to get away from it. However, because I only used a half a stick of butter, you need a little more. I'm going to add, there's going to be a total of, who remembers how much sugar I put in? Okay, then 1 more quarter cup of sugar. So that's a cup and a half of white sugar all together. Remember, this is dessert. Don't feel guilty. I'm also going to go in with another couple of teaspoons of vanilla. You got to have flavor, baby. And I'm not ashamed to say I didn't get it right the first time because I taste my way through my food because I'm not going to serve anybody just anything. You can trust me. So now I'm going to add 2 eggs lightly beaten. You never want to put your eggs directly into your whatever you're making. You want to go ahead and put them in something else first, just in case you get a shell, a random shell, or a bad egg. That, you know, you don't want to ruin everything because you had that egg. So we're going to get that in there. And we're going to do our last mix, and then we are going to be ready to roll. All right, honeys, now that our pie filling is ready, we're going to go ahead and get them into our prepared pie dishes. Again, I said we'll make 2 pies, but it's looking like a little bit more. So we've been blessed today with another pie, amen? Okay, so I did get store-bought pie crust. If you want to be fancy, go ahead and make your own crust, honey. I ain't judging you. Please don't judge me. So what you want to do is when you get your pie crust, sometimes there's a little bit of imperfections where it might be a separation. You just want to make sure you press those together because we don't want any problems. All right, let's see, make sure our other one is nice and where it needs to be. And y'all don't be telling my grandma that I use store-bought pie crust. I mean, don't be telling my secrets. All right, so we're gonna get this filling right in here, and it's so creamy. Look how beautiful that is. And one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, don't be stingy with your sweet potato pie. Fill that bad boy up to the rim because don't nobody have time for no empty sweet potato pie. We want all of it, all the way up to the top. Smooth her out so she's nice and pretty for her photo shoot. Gorgeous, darling. All right, so let's get our other one ready. Well, looks like we might just have 2 pies, or 2 and a possible. Well, maybe we'll just do something special with that other one. Maybe put a little cornbread crust on the bottom and have a little sweet potato cornbread pie tartlet thing. Hey, you're the artist. kitchen is your canvas. Do what you want to do. Again, we're not judging here. This is a non-judgment channel. All right, those look good. Now, I have a secret, another one. I don't know about you, but I can't stand when I get to the potluck and the sweet potato pie has black around the edges. Nobody wants that. So I have a little trick. I like to put a little foil on the edges of my pie. Make a few strips. And just tint it, just like this. We can remove them later to get it nice and brown. But for now, it's gonna bake for a while, about 40 minutes or so to get set up. And you don't want, by the time that 40 minutes is done, for this crust to be black. That would be tragic. Okay, honey, through the beauty of good editing, we've got both of our pie crusts covered and clothed under their little blanket to keep them nice and safe in the warm oven. So I'm gonna put these in a 350-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. You know your ovens everybody's oven's different. So just until it's nice and set up. You don't want anything wobbling or wiggling. And then we're gonna be ready for business. All right, my loves and lovelies, our pie is done. We've got 2 for the party. What party? I keep talking about a party, but you know what? I'm gonna have a party in my mouth. So what I like to do as soon as my pies come out, I like to just brush, put a little lipstick. I like to brush the crust with a little butter just to get it nice and shiny. That's how I like my pie crust. I mean, just like when you take cornbread out, you gotta give her a little lipstick, honey. So she's fabulous. There we go. And let's just get our other one. Now do me a favor, let these rest for a moment. Give them a little nap. They need to rest for at least 30 minutes before we cut into them. I know it's tempting, and don't get me wrong, I like a little warm apple pie, but you know, you can warm it up a little later, but it'll still be nice and warm. You just don't want it to fall apart on you. You need to let it set up. Now that it's cooked, it just has to, you know, settle in, just get nice and comfy before you get to just butchering her, okay? Trust me on this one. I'm not saying it because I've done it before. All right, honey, our pie is done. Isn't she lovely? Take a look at that. She's fluffy, that crust is still nice and buttery. And of course I had to add a little bit of whipped topping. Now you could be fancy if you like and make you some homemade whipped topping, because that's amazing too. I like to make a maple one or one with a little bit of cinnamon and spice, but we'll get into that later. Right now, we're getting ready to get into this. So I'm gonna take a little bite. I'm gonna get a piece of that crust. Whew. Honey, this is the sweet potato pie that'll win you a competition. It'll get you a ring on your finger. Oh, I gotta do this again, hold on. I don't know why I'm trying to get everybody married. Maybe everybody don't want a ring on their finger, but I'm just saying, if you can do this right here, they're gonna come running, all right? Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Teresa, and I'd love to continue to dazzle you with my delicious recipes. So please subscribe and come back and leave me a comment below, because I'd love to hear what you have to say about my sweet potato pie. All right, until next time.